You guys are fun though. So how many, make some noise again if you have kids. Like school-age kids. Yeah? How was your first day of school?
Great.
Yeah, fantastic, right? You get to get rid of those bastards for 8 hours a day. No, and that's what my parents wanted for me when I grew up. I remember grade school. You know, I admittedly needed some extra help. You know, the short bus would pick me up on the first day, and I'd go to class, and I wasn't really aware that I was that much different until the teacher came up and said hi to me every day. Because every year in grade school you have a new teacher. And they come up and they greet the class the same way. And like, thank you, Timmy, it's very nice to meet you. It's going to be a fantastic year. Sally, I really like your trapper keeper, that's awesome. And then I would make eye contact with my new teacher. And I could hear them thinking. And then they come up to me and say, hello! How are you doing? Now, when I was 5 years old, I didn't know that I was being patronized. So logically, all I could deduct was that my teachers, in fact, had disabilities. Slow-talking disabilities. So I would respond accordingly. I'm okay. How are you? I was a sophomore before we figured out neither one of us talked like that. My parent-teacher conferences took 8 hours. And I love it. Let's give a hand to teachers. We've all had it. It was actually a teacher that advised me to try stand-up the very first time. So I love teachers. When I always ran into those teachers that tried to baby me, tried to make life a little easier for me, because they assumed I couldn't handle what the other students were. Remember think back to grade school, remember that awkward transition between picture books and chapter books? Terrifying. And I remember you were on the playground the year before and the 5th graders were like, no, you better enjoy those pictures now. You're doing book reports next year. What the hell is a book report? I remember the first book report we ever got assigned as a class. The teacher said, all right, everybody pick out a chapter book. No pictures. 100 pages. I want you to turn it in 2 weeks. And we're all freaking out, and we didn't know how to adjust. And my fears were immediately put at ease, because the teacher brought me aside and said, Mike, don't worry. You're special. I was like, I'm beginning to figure that out. And she said, don't worry about the 100 pages. You just hand something in. Say, cool. 2 weeks went by, I turned in a very nice book report on Where's Waldo. It had one sentence, I found him. And the worst part of that story, I got a B. I did struggle all the way through school though. I mean, I remember hating math class. You have any big math fans in the room? I'm a fan. Okay, I'm gonna. But no, I'm a very tolerant person. Like, I don't like to generalize any group of people, but math teachers suck. Like, because everything is black and white with math teachers, right and wrong. There's no wiggle room. Like, I went up to my English teacher one time and argued a grade, and she saw my point of view. I listened to her, and it got changed. This doesn't happen with math teachers. I tried. I remember one time I got a test completely covered in red ink. And generally I agreed with her assessment. Like, you know, but there was one question on that test I knew I got right. And she marked it wrong. This is a very important question because it was the difference between a D- and a D. So I went up to her and I said, why did you mark that wrong? She said, well, you didn't finish it. I said, I know I didn't finish it. Again, well, why did you mark it wrong? And she said, well, you only gave me part of the answer. I was like, I know I only gave you part of the answer, because you only asked for the sum. So I only gave you some of the answer. If you wanted the whole of the answer, that's what you should have asked for. I can't read your mind. I do know one thing though. I have been looking for X for going on 17 years. Wondering if I was lost, would X try to find me? I'm gonna tell you one thing, when I do find X and his little buddy Y, I'm kicking his ass. I'm kicking his ass. I'm getting him breadcrumbs, a cell phone, and a GPS. Never gets lost again. Doesn't just text me. No, the other subject I really hated in school, I didn't hate it, I really enjoyed it, but it was history class. Because I got kicked out of class every year on the same day, Columbus Day. I got kicked out for laughing. Because a little backstory, I was adopted, and right around my high school years, I started to meet my birth family. And my birth family is primarily from Cutbank and Browning. So I got to learn about my history and my culture. And one of the first things I learned about my heritage was that Columbus was an asshole. Like, that's day one. So when my teacher got up in front of the class and had the nerve to say Columbus was a hero, and he discovered the new world. Alright, let's just think this one out. If there's someone there to greet you, it's not new. That'd be like me walking into Walmart and the old guy in the blue vest saying, welcome, me saying, no. This is a brand new store. I just discovered it. Where's your corn? And no, they didn't get one thing right in the history books. They didn't get one thing right. Every tribe in North America and Canada and the Caribbean islands greeted settlers the same way. From Columbus to Lewis and Clark. We all had the same response upon seeing white people. It was, and you're not going to believe this, how? 100% true, historically accurate. Except as they tend to do with history, they edited it a little bit. They cut off the last part, which was how long do you think you're going to stick around?